You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday, happy Jupiter Day, and happy final day, full day of Mercury retrograde. We have a quick forecast today. We're only talking about the Cancer moon. So this will be a quick video getting you ready, getting you geared up for tomorrow's episode, which will take us through the weekend. We'll talk about the end of Mercury retrograde, some shifts coming our way. But for today, the focus is on the Cancer moon, and we're smack dab in the middle of Gemini season. Something you'll notice is during Gemini season, the list of notable birthdays seems a little bit longer because Gemini energy is social, outgoing, a lot of actors and comedians, people who are really great with their words. So today, June 2nd, we have Justin Long with a birthday, Joe Coy, Dominic Cooper, Zachary Quinto, Janine Pirro, Andy Cohen has a birthday. He is a Gemini, as well as Wayne Brady, another funny guy, Dana Carvey, speaking of comedians, Abby Wambach, I can never remember how to say her last name, the famous soccer player who's married to Glennon Doyle. Let's see, anyone else? Someone named Beetlejuice, not the movie Beetlejuice, like an actual person named Beetlejuice. I don't know who that is. If you know who Beetlejuice is, let me know in the comments. Do I need to know who this is? I don't know. And we have Bailey joining us today. Good morning. Yeah. Feed yourself positive input. Okay. I'm so glad you said that because you'll see when we go through the transits what was probably triggering or activating you, but astrology is wild because as I was preparing for today's show, going over this morning's transits, putting out the little takeaway on my Instagram, I was sitting, hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this, too bad if he does. I was sitting across from my partner and literally watching him experience the transits, like watching him get triggered, watching his change of heart or kind of a shift in his energy, which completely mirrored the transits almost to the hour, like wild. So if you're feeling that way too, it's all right. It's going to get easier by the end of the day. Good morning, Rachel. Yes, Mercury retrograde almost over. Tomorrow is officially when Mercury stations direct, but we still have a shadow period, and we'll get into that a little bit more tomorrow. Right now, though, let me show you the chart, because on Saturday, Saturn stations retrograde on Saturn Day. Really interesting. But because we have Mercury getting ready to station direct and Saturn getting ready to station retrograde, what happens in the night sky, it's why we call it a shadow period, because for the week or so before and after Mercury retrograde, Mercury appears to be moving very slowly in our sky. It's almost like a pendulum swinging in that moment, you know, when the pendulum is getting ready to change directions, that it looks like it's suspended in midair. And so when Mercury is slow like this, it kind of feels like things are on pause, or we're really in the nitty-gritty of Mercury retrograde. Sometimes the shadow period can feel even more intense than Mercury retrograde because Mercury likes to move fast. That's kind of its telltale trait, fast moving, quick wit. And when it moves more slowly, at least from our eyes in the night sky, it can feel a little bit off-putting. So just know that, yes, we're almost out of Mercury retrograde. Get ready to celebrate, get excited, but also there could be a few more snags on the way, in the future, in the next week or so. So just, it's nice to know that that's a possibility and to be prepared for it. But like I said, today we're talking all about the Cancer moon. And let's just chat about what it's like when the moon is in Cancer. The moon's in its home sign here, and we too can return home to our own emotions, kind of return back to our true feelings when the moon is in Cancer. We like to be comfortable. We like to be at home. It's a really nurturing time for our body, for our soul, and we enjoy being around our family members or the people we feel really safe around, our chosen family, if you will. So today, tomorrow, it's a really great time, especially today because the moon isn't making too many connections. It's a really great time to just get in touch with your own emotions and get in touch with your intuition. We're more intuitive with the moon in Cancer as well because the moon is very connected to our intuition and it's right at home here in Cancer. So Bailey was saying she woke up, she was feeling blah. Maybe you were feeling the same way, a little bit triggered. You can think, see, Mercury retrograde still isn't over. You'll know. I am ruled by Mercury. You will know by how I speak when Mercury retrograde is over. I'm telling you, there won't be as many weird hiccups in my speech. I know you're probably thinking like it's not that bad, but for me, as a Virgo, as a Mercury ruled person, I'm very precise with my words. And during Mercury retrograde, I'm just like, what are words? How do I speak? I don't know. Okay, so if you were feeling triggered this morning, here's why. The moon, when it hit 15 degrees, so just a couple hours ago, was forming a square to Chiron, the wounded healer. And just a refresher on Chiron, Chiron represents our deepest wounds, our ability to heal them, and then our ability to help others do the same, heal those same wounds. But when the moon squares off to Chiron, it makes us triggered. It provokes those wounds. And especially with the moon in Cancer, it's like one little poke, one little mishap, or it might not even be related to someone else. It could just be something not going exactly the way you wanted it to go first thing this morning, can cause a flood of emotions because the Cancer moon is very emotional. So you might have felt that. And it's not even necessarily like bringing you to tears emotions. It could be frustration. Remember, emotions aren't just sadness or crying. It can be a full range of reactions that you experience. And it, of course, depends on your trigger and the wound that it's provoking. But I would invite you, if that's you today, this happened at 6 a.m., so we're kind of pulling away from this transit. But if you noticed yourself getting a little more irritable, a little bit more triggered, or just a little overly emotional and not sure why, I would invite you to follow those emotions, follow those feelings back to the source, and there is a healing opportunity there. Anytime we're talking about Chiron, it's like triggered, but also healing. So if you can be introspective enough and really find the time and space to listen to your emotions, listen to your intuition, there is an opportunity to realize why you react the way you do, why that little thing caused such a big reaction. And that's a really beautiful thing, a really beautiful part of astrology. Like I said, I watched my partner go through the full range of emotions this morning, and luckily I was able to understand what was happening and not take it on and not take it personally because I knew. And I didn't say like, this is just what's happening because the moon is squaring Chiron, because I knew that probably wouldn't help, but I knew what was happening. And then I talked about a shift after that. Yeah, totally on par for the Cancer moon, wanting to stay home this morning, take it slow today. One of my friends said the same thing in a group chat. I'm just soaking in a bath already today and just chilling, taking some time for R&R. That's a beautiful way to spend this energy, especially like you said, you woke up feeling blah. nurture yourself under the Cancer moon. Any triggers, any discomfort is an opportunity to figure out, how can I better nurture myself? How can I feel safer in my own body? I love that you already intuitively knew that's what you needed to do. Okay, so the next transit that we're experiencing right now, the moon is forming a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. So that's 60-degree supportive angle to Uranus. And this can help us lean into change, lean into that disruption a little bit, and it can help us shift our mood, try things a little bit differently, be open to new opportunities. You might have already experienced a change of plans today. That's thanks to Uranus, and it might have been that thing that, you know, gave you the opportunity to stay home and rest and relax, or just clear up your schedule a little bit for more time to be with yourself and be in tune with your emotions. So when the moon forms this sextile to Uranus, it just invites us, like I said, to try things differently, to innovate a little bit, to look to the future as well. A sextile means we've got to lean into the energy a little bit. We've got to be willing to work with the energy, to put a little bit in, to get a little bit out of it. So it could be that you are making the conscious decision to try something differently today, to do things as you normally wouldn't do them. And surprises are possible. You could be surprised just by that willingness to be open to new opportunities, to new perspectives, to trying things differently, how much that could sway your entire day. This could also come in the form of like a disruption that you didn't choose, but if that happens to you, again, lean into it, welcome it, know that it's supported by the transits, and that it's probably the universe just shifting things for you because it's trying to kind of push you in a different direction than you thought you were going to go today. So be open to change, be open to possibilities. That sextile was exact at 8 a.m. right after the square to Chiron. So like I said, I watched it play out before my eyes, being triggered, having the flood of emotions, and then almost immediately at like 8 a.m., 8:30, like, okay, I decided I'm going to change how I respond. I'm going to change how I'm seeing this situation. I'm going to change my perspective. Just wild how accurate the transits are when you start to follow them pretty diligently. Going to the beach for a dip after the gym. Yes, self-care. Self-care is huge with the Cancer moon. I love this. Bath sounds amazing. Water is also, you know, Cancer is a water sign. So being in water can feel very nurturing under the Cancer moon. Moved in and the hot water doesn't stay hot too long. Just took a shower, doing my morning skincare routine. Yes, Bailey. Like, I'm just picturing you luxuriating. Me personally, I love a shower. I'm a shower over a bath kind of girl, and that's still being in water. Showers can be incredibly cleansing as well. Oh, my husband is a Cancer moon. Congratulations, Katie. We love a Cancer moon. With Chiron in Cancer too, though. Okay. Yes, definitely be gentle with him. Know that when the moon is in Cancer, he's probably very sensitive, not only because he's going through his lunar return, because he has that Cancer moon, but because every time the moon is in Cancer, it also passes over his Chiron. So I would imagine that he is very sweet and tender behind closed doors, just like very nurturing and caring as a partner, but also very sensitive. And I will say, with his Chiron being in Cancer also, him being attuned to his emotions can be very healing for the people around him too. Good morning, good morning. Oh, I just saw your comment come through again. Well, we love to see it. Okay, let's move on to our final transit of the day. It's another sextile, it's more subtle because they were talking about the north and south node. So it's not like planets connecting, but the moon at the end of the day at 6 p.m. will form a sextile to the north node and a trine to the south node. And this is just that another gentle reminder to follow your emotions back to the source, to kind of take that time, let your emotions light the path ahead. Let them show you the way of, okay, this is what feels good. This is the pace that we're going at today. This is what I need to keep going in a sustainable way. And really giving yourself the time and space, whether that's in a bath, whether that's in your skincare routine, whether that's just chilling on the couch or taking a cold plunge, whatever that looks like for you, taking that intentional time for self-care, to be with yourself, to process your emotions today is supporting your path ahead, is supporting your path of highest good, is supporting the lessons you're here to learn, the energy you're meant to embody in this lifetime, and also supporting the collective direction we're going to. So, I always love to just mention these North and South Node transits because it is that little bit of reassurance that sometimes we need. I will say at the same time that the moon is supporting the North Node, it forms a trine to the South Node. And I say that because past emotions can come through very easily. Again, let them show you the way. Let them show you what's no longer serving you, maybe a final purge, a final release of something so you can keep moving forward. And that's it. Those are the transits today. So let's do a little overview and then we will pull a card. This Thursday is all about the Cancer moon, an invitation to return home to our bodies, to return home to our own emotions, and to really take care of ourselves. Give our emotions the time and space to be fully processed and to show us the way. The moon formed a 10th square to Chiron first thing this morning, making us a little triggered and provoking our wounds. But shortly after, the moon got support from Uranus, allowing us to shift gears a little bit, to try things differently, maybe having some insights or realizations about those emotions that were provoked, and helping us to look to the future, innovate, and maybe take a different path than we planned. By the end of the day, the moon connects with the North and South nodes, showing us that our emotions are actually signaling the direction we're supposed to be heading. Our emotions can act as that compass, showing us, okay, that's where we were in the past. These are the emotions that are coming through and showing us what we've still been holding on to. But also, as we process them, it is allowing us to look ahead and say, okay, this is how I'm going to move forward. This is the energy I'm meant to embody. So it could be a really growing, healing, learning day for a lot of people if they give themselves, again, the time and space to just be with their emotions and process everything that's moving through their body, mind, and spirit. Okay, let's pull a card. We're going to pull from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, one of my very favorites. Just see what needs to come through. I did a reading yesterday and we pulled from this deck, and the card that came through was so spot on for my client, and I just love when that happens. So this is your time to ask your questions of me, ask your questions of the universe. If there's anything else that you need guidance on today, let this card be the guidance you are looking for. All right. So I'll take a breath together. If you're joining me live, here we go. Deep breath in. Hold it. And exhale. Okay, the card we pulled is Imrama. I pulled this card a few times on the stream, actually. It says, where are you being called to journey to? Where are you being called to journey to? And the guidebook tells us, if I can find it, here we go. The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we're going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this, cut me off. We're going to start again. The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we're going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be a physical, ancient place or a metaphoric place. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is a journey to one of the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on a desert floor, or drink from an ancient well, or dip in the ocean like Court's going to do today. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you are being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Your soul is ready to journey deep. I think this is a beautiful reminder too that our intuition is heightened under the Cancer moon. So as we're processing emotions, paying attention to what our intuition is saying about the situation, getting quiet enough to hear our intuition, letting ourselves be a little spontaneous, letting ourselves journey into the unknown because we deeply know internally, intuitively, that we're meant to go in that direction. So just taking that time and space to figure out where it is that you want to journey to next and letting your soul, letting your intuition lead the way. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Transits today. I hope that this video brought you the guidance you were looking for today. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, we would appreciate it. We're inching our way towards 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize this channel, keep these videos coming to you for free every single day. And I'm excited to talk to you all tomorrow about the end of Mercury retrograde. As you saw just a moment ago, Mercury retrograde is still giving us a run for our money. Like I said, it pulled up Bailey's comments came through multiple times in the chat. The stream pushed me off and made me come back on. So just know, I know we're all excited for it to be over, but it's helpful to know that there still could be some communication breakdowns, some tech glitches along the way, just so they don't surprise you, because sometimes when we're surprised by things, we're a little more triggered by them, if you know what I mean. And I'm excited to talk through the weekend with you and all the retrograde shifts that are happening in the coming days. So I hope you have a beautiful Thursday. I hope you give yourself time and space to really nurture your body, nurture your emotions today, and tap into your intuition. So grateful you showed up for yourself. I'm so grateful you showed up for this community in the comments today. And I will see you right back here tomorrow morning. But until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.